So can you learn a language in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months? In my opinion, no. We've all seen certain videos on YouTube about people trying to learn a language in a week, or saying that they can learn a language in a certain short period of time. And while I find these videos, of course, inspirational, I like to watch them. You can clearly see that these people have lots of language experience. They speak these languages to a certain degree, although some of them admit that they still make mistakes in these target languages, which means, of course, they're not completely fluent. And yeah, of course, I don't want to speak bad about these people. Everybody everybody tries to make his way in this world and learn and grow in their own way, develop an audience, of course. That's nothing bad. But still, I don't think it is possible to learn a language in such a short time. Why? Why do I think like this? Mainly because language learning is a long and laborious process of basically restructuring and reshaping your own brain. It is learning new sounds, it is learning new symbols completely unknown to your brain, to your mind, and learning to use them. It is basically like being a child all over again, and learning to crawl, then learning to stand up, and then slowly walking, and then in the end be able to run. This is what language learning looks like to me. And of course, the most difficult part of the whole ordeal is that when you choose to learn a new language, the process, of course, repeats itself. Even if you know 10 languages and you decide to learn the 11th, you are again at this baby toddler level. Of course, the whole thing works faster since you have experience. You know how to learn better, which is the one thing I think that we adults have much better than this infamous baby child language learner. Yes, that it is a difficult and laborious process that takes a lot of time, especially when you are more experienced in the language itself. At first, you of course just learn the words, certain nouns, verbs. You learn to say a wall, and then you learn to say climb, and then you put some words in between and you make a connection, and then suddenly you have I'm climbing the wall in Chinese or in Japanese. And of course, at the beginning, you make, of course, rapid progress. You learn nouns, you learn verbs, you learn connections. But then, at a certain point, you come to, let's say, the B2 level, where you already know lots and lots of words for all the things around you. You know how to say lots of verbs, and you can understand lots of sentences that people around you say, or you see it in movies or YouTube videos. But still you don't understand everything. And at least with me it is so that I just don't know what to do. I know lots of words, I understand the sentences, but still parts of it are missing. So what should a person do in this situation? What can a person do when you suddenly realize that yes, you can understand lots of sentences that people in this YouTube video say, but you just have to repeat hundreds and hundreds of words all over again, and you just seen that there's this damn word that you have repeated 10 times over and you still can't remember it, and it just seems like a little bit of a swamp. You're somewhere in between, and it's difficult to know how to learn further. And in this situation, in my opinion, this is where this drip method comes into play. What do I mean by drip method? For me, this method represents how language learning really looks like, what real language learning really is. For me, it is like water dripping onto your head. Dripping, dripping, dripping every hour of the day for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And with time, with enough of this dripping, you basically learn to become fluent in this language. So what the hell am I speaking about? Let's go back to the child, baby, language learner. As a baby, you of course have your parents around you, they take care of you, and of course they speak to you. They speak to you about everything that they think in this certain situation is important. They speak to you in the morning, they speak to you in the afternoon, they speak to you in the evening. And you can be certain that this child will hear certain words, certain phrases, certain nouns at each interval of the day. It's very likely that in the morning he will hear breakfast, breakfast, breakfast. Then maybe he will hear diapers, change the diapers. He will hear work, work, I have to go to work, car, or I don't know, something like that. Or then, I don't know, in the evening he will most certainly hear dinner, dinner, dinner. And he will hear bed, bed, bed. He will hear cleaning your teeth, clean your teeth, teeth, clean, clean, clean. And before going to sleep, he will most certainly hear bed, sleep, lights. And with time, these words will just repeat themselves enough times for the child to remember them, and for these words to become, well, basically strong enough in the child's head for him to remember them and to be able to speak them themselves. This is how language learning, in my opinion, really works. Certain words in our everyday lives just repeat themselves. Our lives are mostly probably quite monotonous. They repeat themselves. We get up, we have breakfast, we go to work, we go to school, we come back, we have free time, and then in the evening we go to bed. We of course do lots of things in between, but certain structures of the day are probably similar to one another, and we are most likely to hear certain words in a day over and over and over again. We are most likely, of course, also to hear certain words over and over again from movies, from YouTube videos. And this is, in my opinion, this drip method. You just have to trust in this method that with time, lots of time, you will just rehear certain words over and over and over and over again. And of course, if you want to learn these words, you still have to put lots of effort into remembering these words, not just passively intaking them. And yes, I think this is how, in my opinion, this is how real language really works. Our brain just has to hear certain words, certain connections, certain sentences all over again. And with time, they become strong enough in our heads so we can also repeat them and use them. And in my opinion, this is how language learning works. And of course, this is also why language learning takes a lot of time, because it is basically connected to our everyday lives, to everyday structures of our lives, certain things that we hear and repeat over and over again through the days, through the weeks, through the months, and through the years. And this is why I think it is not possible to learn a language in a week, or a month, or even maybe 6 months. Okay. Thank you for listening, and bye-bye.